our goal now is to hear from you all. But we have some really interesting minds in this room. Most of us will be communicating verbally, but this man, Mr. Tilk, drew during the speeches.
So I'm a product designer by trade and educator as well at the Cleveland Institute of Art, teaching the future of industrial design. I process things visually most of the time, and if I can actually go back and read my writing, I'm impressed. But I can remember most things if I don't even have to be drawing the content to remember it. So this is, that's the first day and into I can't even remember the days now, but I remember all the content specifically. But, everything from documentation about the spider silk and how it works, and the melanin associated with the reflection of light and its organization. There was the oysters as well, and the water tiles and the formulated concrete, tying in once again to formulation or designs for root structures in concrete to mitigate water tables and fish habitats, the design fiction section, and then you could go to the last one. I think there's only, there's two more. Yeah, and just sort of documenting the whole process for myself so that I can go back and look at it. And, I'll listen to it. I get hung up on specific things. The bacteria test with the Tokyo Highway was the subway maps or railway maps was actually absolutely amazing. The collision with the bees, studying that, the origami from Pietra talking about folding materials to learn more, and then sort of wrapping up at the last. I really got hung up on sort of lower friction with the sort of low carbon futures, and the intelligent futures with either flexible muscle materials to change shapes of cars for easier storage, less footprint. And then I just got hung up on maglev stuff at the end of it, still inspired back by the first day, thinking about Hyperloop again. Just personally, I'll give a comment. I loved this conference. I'm so glad I was here. I specifically came because one of the classes that I teach is transportation and concept vehicles at the Cleveland Institute of Art. A lot of our graduates go on to, I was going to say the big three, but the big three are no longer what, they once were, into the transportation world, designing the future of how everybody, the future of what we all ride in, drive in, and experience to get from point A to point B. So I've gotten a ton of material personally to inspire myself, and I've gotten a ton of material to take back to my students. So a big thank you from me. Thank you, guys.
This conference was amazing. It was a great combination of practical and hopeful. And I think as a boots on the ground biologist, feet in the dirt kind of a woman, I was hesitant always about the applied side of biomimicry in space, and kind of like, but what about this Earth? We need to work on this planet. And so what I'm left with is really inspired by science fiction and design fiction, and space as a way to hone in on those limits, those real limits and boundaries that we do have on Earth, but we tend to ignore, and our extractive way of thinking about this mythology of infinite capitalism. I'm left with the idea of being really motivated by what thinking about our constraints in space are for an opportunity to design here on Earth. So nice. Thank you for flipping my switch.
Thanks. All right, Diane, you can go, or you can hand the microphone to whoever wants to go next. Anybody want to go? Raise your hand.
Yeah, so first of all, it's incredible to be at this conference, an incredible collection of great minds and ideas. So it was amazing to absorb all of that. I'm pretty new to the field, so I came here as a sponge to absorb and just figure out what is this whole biomimicry thing, what's going on, and I was wonderfully surprised. So I feel like I personally have gained a lot of direction into where I would like to engage with the field and contribute. So thank you for everybody who presented. It was an incredible opportunity.
Great. All right. Does somebody else have anything to say?
So I've been involved with biomimicry now through Tom and GL Bio, since 2010. So every time I come in and I listen to the speakers and I see the topics, I get excited all over again. So one of the things that is challenging for me is, as an educator, I think we're missing a big piece of the community. We should have students all over this place. I think that is, for me, where it is at. The young minds that are not polluted with all the ideas that we think we already own, they bring a lot to the table. Lucas is here. I'm glad he's here. But we should have 1,000 other Lucases around here. The only problem is, obviously, now they're out of school, so they're not able to come, or if they could, they maybe can't afford, the ticket price. So some way of getting them exposed to this, I think, is obviously something. Now, I can take back what I've learned. I just don't know if that is going to translate, because that is third-hand information. But otherwise, really appreciate all the speakers. All the questions were fantastic. I look forward to implementing as much of this as I can, maybe collaborating with a few others. Deb, we still have to talk, right? So there's a few people that I want to touch base with before we leave.
I'm Tom Tyrrell. I'm the founder of Great Lakes Biomimicry. We started 12 years ago, and the main premise that we were after was to figure out a way to get these things that Janine and her group had done, as Ven had said, into young minds, because we can work all we want with people who are in this room or at the same age and be able to do the kinds of things we want them to do. But if we're really going to make this thing work, we've got to get it into the hands of young people and have them do with it what they do when they learn tennis and they learn golf, and it becomes an inherent part of what they do, and they pass it on from person to person. And I racked my brain, and I sat here, and the presentations were only superseded by the incredible questions and the minds that were in the room. And it's just so exciting. I want to give plaudits to the co-directors for the job that they did. This was not an easy situation, and it really ran very, very smoothly, but very, very proud of the group.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, it's me again, a fellow student. Hooray. I thought today was a really great day. I thought Unwana's talk was excellent. I come from a very technical background, so to see a project that has to incorporate policy and natural resources in a very applicable and having a nice cradle for all of this innovation, I thought was really, really amazing. So yesterday after Mauro, wrong consonant, I'm sorry. After his talk, I was like, how do I, from the technical side, how do I incorporate and work with the business, the IP folks, and the policymakers and the people who have this social power, right? How do I work with them to get what we need as a society? So I'm hoping to see more of that in the future.
Terrific.
I'd like to make 2 quick points. First is the Ray story was incredibly beautiful. Ladies, we're going to bring this to Cleveland. We're going to figure out how to bring it to Arizona. We will bring it here. So we will be talking to you and figuring out how to scale that idea. And the other point I just want to make is it's been transformational. Just listening, I don't know anything about biomimicry. I'm actually a co-resident in this building, so I was coming in and out of meetings. But yesterday evening, I was sitting outside on the deck, and this thing fell, and it blew me away. It's just this little here. I know you've all seen it, but I had never actually seen this thing, the seed that falls, and the amount of engineering and the elegance of this seed I had never paid attention to. And so thanks to you all for this incredible conversation. It's changed the way I look at the world. So thank you.
Great. I just very quickly want to acknowledge, I know how much work these events take to put on, and Carol and Trisha did an incredible job along with many other people, and especially the camera and tech people were very on top of it, and it was very impressive, and the catering as well. So thank you to all of you.
So first off, I want to say thank you to everyone that presented. It really brings inspiration to the young minds of scientists and gets me excited about what we potentially can do as a group, and how we can integrate every single person in the community. And so seeing all these different talks of just the vast majority of them, I can't speak right now, sorry. So like Thibaut's scientist, how he communicates what he's doing, he brought it down so everyone could understand it. And then Billy, how his designs have shown what he can do to inspire some of us to integrate together. And I really think that what we're doing here is, like, to me, I get really excited about it. Like, it's like, this is it. Like, this is what we need to continue doing, is just being excited and getting a lot of people involved. And how can we make this next step in society? Because we aren't going in the right way, right? Like, the people, we're messing up this planet. So it's really emotional to me. And so I really like to see all of this. So thanks, guys.
I just wanted to add to that we all work on our own projects, and sometimes we have our head like focused on our topic, and just coming to events like this, it's great to see, all of the work that is being done. And also we all kind of talk about similar themes, but we apply differently, like those different themes to our research. So it's great to, talk about material, structures, energy, space, and all of that, and apply it differently to different things. And I feel like even if we've come across some of the projects, it's always great to be reminded that, okay, this is a thing, and then it just triggers some innovation also in your mind to be reminded of those. So thank you for all of your discussions, presentations, and the organizers, obviously.
Yeah, kind of following on that, I think this was a wonderful illustration of the reality of all of these ideas. So really made manifest with the ray, right? Where you're like, oh yeah, you can go drive on that. But even some of the more theoretical ideas, but to see the people who are doing the math and making the drawings and making the plans, and you can be aware of a lot of these programs and just be, seeing them on the list. These are the great biomimetic things going on right now. And to come and see the people and to see their passion and their connections between each other, and the stories of like, oh yeah, well, we met here 2 years ago and that's how we got this idea started, and now you see it. And it's a wonderful antidote to the kind of isolated virtual world that we've been living in for 2 years, to really see the reality of it all and the particularity of it, that we're all little organisms and this is what we're doing. So it's great to be part of this stuff.
Great. Couple more, any more? Everybody's processing. Oh.
Yeah, hello again, everyone. So actually, I'm here as a policy person. I'm on the CAS innovation team to see what we're doing with aviation for the next 50 years. I actually came here with a purpose. So my purpose is I have to report back to NASA headquarters on Monday about this conference. So if a lot of you didn't see me, that's because I was in other meetings. So my goal is I'm going to try to assist the process and try to incorporate, get biomimicry back on the fold, because at the present time, it got cut. And so my task is to make sure we have some bio-inspiration for moving forward in the future. And so if you don't know who I am, that's perfectly fine. I did a TED Talk about 10 years ago. I got jet fuel from saltwater plants. And so from that perspective, we did something that no one's ever did in the world. So it was 60,000 people watched my TED Talk. live. So I'm actually coming back to everyone to say, we need this to save the world. And one thing that I did get the NASA folks to understand is cradle to cradle is the most important thing we have. If you don't talk about sustainability, none of us will be here in the future. And so I'm actually here. I'm a senior research scientist at NASA. Believe it or not, I've been working at NASA for 34 years. So I could retire yesterday. I'm a professor at 4 universities, but I'm going back with what Tom said. And we talked about this. When biomimicry started here, I had 2 PhD students. They're gone, but we did a different investment. We invested in K through 12. They invested in PhD students. The weirdest thing now is we have 35 of these students around the country who finished their PhDs medical school. So I think we got the benefit from it a little bit more. So one thing I will always tell everyone is, please embrace K through 12. That's our future. We're the past. K through 12 is the future. I think, sorry for being so long-winded, but I have a big task to do. I have to convince the powers that be to keep this going. And so I appreciate everyone. A lot of ideas I've seen before. I mean, I followed biomimicry for 15 years. I appreciate your drive and determination. And if you want some feedback, I'll let you know how everything goes, because if I call on you, please answer me, because we need this for the future for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mauro.
Okay, sorry, I'm not very good in speaking, let's say improvisation, by the way. For me, I want to say that it's been a very great experience to meet all such diverse people, very inspiring. But the thing that I want to say is that, I come from Europe, and it would be great if this can be also an opportunity to try to start, to work together also, between Europe and United States, more projects. And I also agree with what was said before. So if we want to build the future, we need to invest on K-12. So, and thank you very much all for Carol and Tricia for inviting me, and for the nice discussion. Thank you very much.
Britt, I know you're just back. Is there anything?
So we have one comment that says, I want to thank you and all of the organizers for making this accessible for the folks online to join virtually. They're so proud to be here. Giselle representing the Caribbean, and so many linkages that need to be made amongst all of the groups here and all of the students and different companies that have come together.
All right. Thank you. Thanks to our sponsors, the University of Akron, Avient, Baldwin Wallace, Akron Zoo, the elephant people, well, the zoo people, not the elephant people.
The elephant people.
The elephant people. That's a movie, isn't it? Maybe. Other conference organizers might be at our desk Monday morning getting you stuff out. It's not going to be Tricia and I. All right, that's it. Thank you. Turn off my mic.